Hello, and welcome back to London Cycle Routes. Today, I'll be showing you how to cycle from Ilford in East London to Barking. This ride takes about 7 minutes, and you can do the whole thing on quiet streets and protected cycle lanes. By public transport, the same journey takes between 15 and 20 minutes, so you can save a lot of time by cycling. If you find this video useful, or you just enjoy watching it, then please don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, as I try to post new videos just like it every week. And I'd also like to say a big thank you to everybody who supports the channel on Patreon. If you'd like to join them, there's a link in the description. Alright, let's get going. So we're starting on Ilford Lane on the edge of Ilford Town Centre, and we head straight down Audrey Road. There is a link from Ilford Lane to the High Road in the very middle of Ilford Town Centre. It's through an underpass under the roundabout, but unfortunately it has cyclist dismount signs in it. I'm sure a lot of people probably still do go that way, but we're just going to start from the edge of the centre. This route links two major East London town centres, and it largely runs on very quiet back streets. Despite that, it is incredibly direct and a lot faster than the other options, including driving, essentially because of little cut-throughs like this. Yes, these streets are effectively a really old low-traffic neighbourhood. They have been closed off and then connected with little cycle paths through the parks, which act as motor traffic filters and keep the streets quiet. It also means that our journey is a lot more direct than anybody driving or taking the bus, because they would have to go on the main road, whereas we can cut the corner and go through the back streets. The result is that if you live in Ilford and need to get to Barking, you'd be absolutely mad not to ride a bike there. Even poodling along like this, it is a lot faster than the alternatives, and it's also very pleasant with very little traffic on the streets. In terms of downsides, one of the things that needs improving about this route is the quality of the cycle paths when it does get to the filters. If you look here as we approach this filter here, you'll see that the path is extremely narrow and has quite a rough surface. It's clearly been a very long time since any of these were resurfaced. Now, as I understand it, Transport for London and Barking and Dagenham Council are planning to turn this into an official cycleway route called Cycleway 42. And that'll mostly run on back streets, and I don't think it involves much new infrastructure. But it will be interesting to see whether the final designs for that do involve renovating those footpaths and bringing them up to modern standards and widths, as that would really make this a fantastic route. I haven't seen the final detailed design for the section from Barking to Ilford, and as far as I'm aware one hasn't been published, but it's possible that I've missed it. So if you are aware, then please do let me know in the comments. This route is mostly pretty direct, but there are a couple of twists and turns, so if you do need to see a map of the route, remember that you can download one in the description below the video on YouTube. And that's a GPX file that will work on any app or device. Just coming up on our right, by the way, is a fence, and there's a lot of railway lines on the other side of that, including the Gospel Oak to Barking line, the District and Hammersmith and City lines, High Speed 1, and the Barking to Tilbury line into Fenchurch Street. And you can just see on the floor here the Cycleway 42 symbols, so this section of the route has been signed, and we're going to follow the arrows here, but for some reason it sends us around the houses, and it would have made a lot more sense to just let us go straight ahead with two-way cycling on that street. Now, this on Pickering Road is really something. If you look very carefully on the left, you'll see that the surface of the pavement is actually green, and that's because it's not a pavement, it's a cycle track. So all those cars were parked on an old cycle track. For some reason the local council just doesn't enforce the parking restriction there, which seems particularly odd now that it is an official cycle route. It is of course illegal to park on pavements in Greater London, and also illegal to park on streets with double yellow lines, which apply to the whole width of the street. After we come out of that nice underpass under the A road, we go onto a section of shared space and then onto Wakering Road. There's a bit of an issue here, which is that this street, when I came here at least, was technically just one way, even for cycling. And although there have been plans to put two-way cycling in since 2019, they were not in effect when I got here, although that might have changed. Either way, you probably noticed that people were using it for two-way cycling anyway. We are basically here in Barking now, And the only thing that I would say is that Station Parade may look like a really busy road and is still built like one, but it has a bus gate on it, which means it's relatively quiet, although there are a lot of buses on it, so it isn't as quiet as, say, a low traffic neighbourhood, but it should be no problem really to ride on. It would be actually quite nice to see a bit of public realm work here to use the space more effectively, considering how low the traffic levels are. But great, we're here. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks very much to everyone who contributes to the Patreon. If you'd like to contribute as well, then you can find a link in the description too. Just a short one this week, but I would still say a massive time saver and really worth doing. Thanks very much. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See you again next time.